What's going on, guys? Today we have an extremely interesting individual who is under the impression that he is a female, and of course we all know that he's not. Every single time that I watch one of these guys, I honestly feel like now I've seen it all. I get back on social media and then I tell myself I'm just gonna stop saying that because this is utterly ridiculous. There was two separate TikToks from this man, and there are some extraordinarily sci-fi like things going on and in around the head of this individual who seems to think that this is going to be a tangible reality one day. And not that Google is helping at all, because if you look this stuff up, there are a lot of indications that this may be a normal way of life at one point. It's not. No. Let's just go ahead and get into it.
Today I want to tell y'all how I could be the world's first pregnant transgender woman. Now, am I actually going to be the first one? Who knows? But you're probably wondering, how can a transgender woman be pregnant? She doesn't have a uterus. Well, that's why you do a uterine transplant. So long story short, a donor uterus would be planted into me. It would be fertilized, a baby would be born, and then the uterus would be taken out so my body doesn't reject it. And this procedure has already been done on some cis women, meaning women who were born women and identify as women, and 16 of them have been successful and babies were born from donor uterus. Now, of course, the baby technically would not be my biological child unless I chose to fertilize the egg with my frozen man juice. And this should all be possible within like the next 10 to 20 years. So when I'm like 28 years old, I could get pregnant. I could be pregnant. Now, of course, it's never been done on a trans woman yet, but it just goes to show how crazy science is and anything is possible.
Number one, why would you think a uterine transplant will be possible for a male and then somehow you are going to impregnate yourself? Mind you, we have not even discussed all of the other anatomy and how the entire circulatory system would have to be rerouted. Not even to mention the fact that a man's body, the endocrine system in your body, is completely different than that of a woman. And so having a uterus in your body is going to be immediately rejected just due to the fact that your body secretes different hormones and chemicals as a woman than it does for a man. One of the other points that the individual made was that as soon as the baby comes out, they would remove the uterus so that it wouldn't be rejected. What in the living hell makes you think that your body is going to be able to sustain an entire successful pregnancy, grow a child, reroute your entire immune system to protect that child? That would be a disaster, even if fertilization was possible, and I honestly don't see how. But even if it was, the abomination in and of itself is not even articulable, brothers and sisters. This is absolutely crazy. But if you look at this individual's eyes, while he's talking, you can see the mental depravity, you can see the spiritual depravity, and this is exactly what the Bible talks about. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5 is so important because it isn't just about clothing. The verse in and of itself states that a man is not to do what pertains to a woman and a woman is not to do what pertains to a man. And now we've moved beyond clothing and we're going into biological function designed by God, and we're pretending like men and women now know how to emulate these functions perfectly. It took the creator of the universe to create us and say, this is how you're going to procreate, but now we think that we have it figured out. He admitted himself that the uterus would not even become a permanent part of his body. Why? Because the body would reject it. What in the heck makes you think that it's not going to reject it during a successful pregnancy? It is absolutely insane what these people think regular life is going to become. It's baffling to me. I just don't get where they get. Oh God.
Recovery was going to be hard, but nobody tells you that it could be this hard. But yeah, I was diagnosed with vaginal stenosis, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically when scar tissue gets built up inside of the vaginal canal to the point where it's like extremely tight and uncomfortable. And the thing is, for the first year after getting bottom surgery, you have to dilate your vagina religiously because it's a brand new canal that needs to be kept open religiously for the first year. And now that I have this stenosis, I physically cannot dilate.
Well, let's talk about why you cannot dilate. Let's talk about why stenosis happens. That scar tissue builds up inside of the canal because it's not really a vagina. Let's just start there. Okay, we have seen time and again that these surgeries, these bottom surgeries, are resulting in absolutely disastrous results for these individuals who are surgically removing perfectly good and healthy sexual organs to try to perpetuate the lie that they are women. Then we wonder why they're trying to hide the statistics about what's really going on 7 to 10 years after these surgeries are conducted. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are born is what you are born. God's design is perfect. You are having issues dilating yourself, my man, because you don't really have a female reproductive genital organ. Sorry to tell you, you can lie to yourself all you want, and I'm sure that you've gotten more than enough people in your life to lie to you, which is why you act the way that you act and you portray yourself the way that you do. But at the end of the day, you are not a woman. You can grow your hair out however you want. You can have as many surgeries as you want. Now you're talking about putting a uterus inside of you, which would have to promptly be removed after a successful gestation, which you're not gonna have. But I think the most disturbing part of all of this is the fact that you have met so many people that were willing to perpetuate a lie, to perpetuate illness, just mental illness, that I honestly feel so sorry for. That you have physicians who were willing to violate their oath and completely mutilate you. You sit there and you still have the capacity to believe that what is between your legs is truly a female reproductive organ. That is the truly saddest part about all of this. The fact that you didn't sit there and have not even one person in your life who said, this is a really bad idea, is truly the saddest and most devastating part of this entire story. And I feel so sorry for you. As always, guys, be safe, be good, be blessed. I'll see you when I see you. Please like the video, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, remember, tomorrow is not promised to anybody. Have a good one, guys.